Hi there everyone, welcome to Alchemy. In this video we bring you the August forecast for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you'd like to know how this month's gonna go, carry on with us. So this is the spread we have for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you have any doubts regarding your rising sign or your moon sign, I'm going to leave you here a video where I teach you how to make your natal chart online for free and how to immediately identify your rising sign or your moon sign, and your moon sign actually. All you need are your birth data. Specifically, your time should be precise to the minute because that's what's going to determine your rising sign, the sign that's rising at the horizon the moment that you were born. If your city doesn't show up at the map, just use the closest city because that's not going to be much of an influence, but the time indeed needs to be as precise as possible, okay? So, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so and press the bell to know when we have new videos here. And also give us a like or leave us your comment, your suggestion or your doubts, whatever it is that you may feel regarding this spread, okay? In our comment box, we're more than happy to read about it and also to answer you if that's the case, okay? So without further ado, let's go into the spread for Libra. And the energy of the month is the moon. What does this tell me? The moon is a card that's usually associated with the feminine energy, of course. That's quite connected with the energy of the moon. But even if you have a full moon, you can't see properly around you. Everything is in a grayscale and you can't see distances properly, you can't see shapes properly. So the card of the moon usually comes with 2 or 3 things associated with it. One is dreams, the other is intuition, and the third is distortion or illusion, okay? So, coming with the 4 of coins, I'd say that you are in a position where you're a little bit eluded regarding your money life, your material life, what's going on around you in your material life and material world, all right? About your resources. Even though it's a month that it's very intuitive and it's quite possible that you dream a lot, and most of those dreams actually have a knowledge, actually have meaning. That's what I was trying to say. Actually bring you knowledge and have a meaning, and maybe warnings, okay? It may be the case that you find yourself a little bit eluded about what's going on in your life. Either you feel that you have more money than you do have available, or you feel that your financial condition and your material condition is way worse than it actually is. And I'd go for the second one because the card of the 4 of coins is a card of greed. It's usually a card that talks about being quite afraid of letting go of your money, about letting go of your resources. Sometimes this card comes when people have gone through a background of lack, okay, where they didn't have enough and they had to be counting pennies. And now, even though they have a better financial situation, they are still living as if they were in a more complicated situation. So I would say, and I'm just jumping a little bit ahead of your spread, I see here in money quite a positive card that would be the 4 of Wands. So I would say that this month your perception of money is quite lopsided, all right? Either you feel that you have more than you actually do, or you feel that you have less, and specifically I would go with this one. You may feel that you don't have enough to accomplish what you want, or you may feel that whatever it is that you have is not enough. Also, there may be some illusions regarding your money, so pay attention to your bank accounts, pay attention to money that may be taken away from you for payments, all right? Especially those payments that are automatically done through your bank account. You don't have to think about it. It actually just takes your money away. See if there are not some hidden costs that you didn't think about, and then or that were not presented to you at first, and then the value that they take away is a little bit different than what they were supposed to take away, and then you feel that you have more than you actually have. Be careful with those kinds of situations. Pay attention at your bank account Pay attention also to any agreements that you may strike or any promises regarding money. And also don't guide your life this month for your just for making money. Try to enjoy yourself a little bit more, because that would be quite important, okay? Because otherwise, if you're just stuck in that energy of, okay, I need to make money because I need to pay bills, because I need to this, or because I want to buy this or that, you may be missing a lot of stuff that would be quite beneficial to you. Just running around for money may also be dampening your abilities, your intuitive abilities, because you're so focused on your material life that your intuitive self is kind of covered up, you know, it's kind of not taken care of, and you need to pay attention to your spiritual side as well, and to your intuitive side. So be careful with that situation. All right, now let's see about the challenge for this month. Sorry about the meowing. I've got my cat around here, Anubis, and he's quite needy, and whenever he meows, he wants cuddles. But mommy's working. Mommy's working. Okay? Sweetie. Sorry about that. So we have here the challenge of the month. And the challenge is not something that's going to be difficult for you. It's a kind of energy that is quite available to you, but it's going to be hard to reach it, all right? It's going to be a little bit more challenging to get there. So that's why it's called the challenge of the month. And here we have the Empress, okay? Coming with the Two of Wands. The Empress is a card that talks a lot about fertility. As you can see, she's pregnant and everything around her is flowing with life. You know, you have baby animals around their parents. You have fruits. You have flowers. So there's a lot of fertility. There's a lot of abundance going on. Okay, so that's why I say that this situation is a little bit delusional regarding your financial or your material life. Okay. So there is abundance around for you. There is that magnetism that brings what's good towards you, right? Also, Libra is a very magnetic sign. It's a very people sign, usually. Even though it's not, even though you may not be a people person, but the Libra sign is quite associated with relationships, with you and the other person, seeing the other person, working with the other person, learning from the other person, especially that part, learning from the other person, because everyone that you contact with is a mirror for you. So there is always something there that is a mirror of what you have inside, okay, good or bad. And Libra is it's quite the sign to talk about this kind of situations, all right? It's about this kind of relationships. And in this case, it tells me that you have a lot of abundance going on inside you. You have a lot of this energy with you. You have a magnetism this month that is amazing, and the possibility to materialize and to be prosperous that is absolutely off the chart. But you're gonna have to make some choices to make this happen, okay? You have to decide how to use that abundance, and to decide what path you need to take to come to this abundance, all right? So there are some choices that you need to make, some very internal choices, because the Two of Wands is a card that usually talks about the deck of Wands talks about your spirit energy, your soul energy, your anima, all right? What makes you be you. And in this case, it's a very strong energy, okay? This it's a card that talks about you being successful wherever you decide to go. So, but before, you have to make the decision of where you want to go, which box do you want to open, what do you want to do, all right? So that's the point with this Two of Wands. You have to make a decision that with that Obviously there are going to come some changes, and obviously there are some options that will be taken off the table, but with these options that you need to make, you're going to get one step closer to this Empress. Okay, so this is the challenge for you, to make these decisions, to see the abundance around you, to know and to decide how to use that abundance for your own profit and for your own development. Okay, so try not to focus too hard on this energy, because probably it's more of an illusion than the actual truth. Now let's see about your love life. And this spread, for me, when it came out, I mean, it was so full of warnings, and this is one of them. You have the Chariot and the Nine of Swords. So the Chariot is an amazing energy, because it's an energy of success, it's an energy of movement, it's an energy of willpower and decision, because the Chariot is when you try to make the two horses work as one. So your ego and your soul work together to a common purpose, to go forward in your own path, in your own life path. All right, so that's the purpose here with the Chariot. And when you align yourself with your life purpose and you decide where to go, immediately a plan starts to form, and that's the card of the Chariot. Chariot is the planning card. You see, I want to go from point A to point B. What do I need to do to get from here to there? All right, that's the core of the Chariot. You decide what you want to do, how you're going to do it. You break it into small steps, and then you align all parts of you towards that goal. In this case, this is your love life. So if you are in a relationship, it's the moment for you to take a seat and have an honest conversation with the other person and ask them, hey, where is this going to go? What are our common projects? Where is our common ground? What can we expect as a couple from this relationship? What decisions do we need to make together as to where we need to go next? All right, that's the point, that's the problem, that's the situation, that's where you want to go. So you need to pay attention to your relationship and to decide what's going on, and come together and get things going and make decisions. Also, to have a very open conversation, because this Nine of Swords is a full-blown warning that something or someone is trying to make a mess out of this relationship. Why? The Nine of Swords is a card that's connected with nightmares, with worries, but also with gossip and people trying to interfere from the outside. As you can see, she is sort of laying down to sleep, and from the sword that is above her head, some hands, mist that has the shape of hands, you see, is trying to get into her ear. So it's as if some worries from the outside, words from the outside are trying to creep into her mind, into her dreams, into her thoughts, you see? So that's the problem. The Nine of Swords is a card that usually talks about your inner fears being fed by outer gossip, by outer circumstances. So if someone comes to you and tells you, oh, I've seen your significant one doing this and that, or if you are jealous, or if there's something that you feel that is unclear, that's the moment for you to be very, very honest with the other person, and don't let this fester, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to have your mind filled with worries, with concerns, with stuff that people told you. Most of that may not even correspond to the truth, or if it corresponds to the truth, it's easier for you and faster for you to get rid of a bad situation than to just ignore it and then keep that thing gnawing at you in your mind whenever you feel suspicious, and then making everything worse. Okay, so just pay attention. Don't let yourself be knocked down by some outer world gossip, for some informations that are dubious. Just make sure that you know what you know what's going on, and that you have honest conversations with the person that you are living with, that you are sharing your life with. All right, don't let other I don't know how to say this in a better way, but don't let other people and other gossip interfere in your life before you can prove that this gossip actually has a fundament, all right? If you are alone and you are seeking a new relationship, it's a great month to do so. With the card of the Chariot, it would be a great month for you to decide what you want to prioritize in a relationship, decide what you accept and what you don't accept in a relationship, what you would want and what you would not take in at all in a relationship, and then go seeking exactly for that. Make kind of a manifestive intentions to the universe, like write down not who you would like to get in a relationship, but characteristics that you would love to have in your significant one. Say, I would love to have someone who is romantic, someone who is adventurous, someone who likes to cuddle in rainy days. I don't know. Okay, someone who respects my religion, someone who respects my needs for loneliness, someone who likes the same kind of stuff that I do. I don't know. Just make a list of what you would like to have in a significant one. Stuff that you wouldn't accept. I don't accept someone who cheats. I don't accept someone who lies. I don't accept someone who would make fun of my beliefs. Something like that, okay? Just, I would like someone with a great sense of humor, but who would never offend anyone with that humor, for example. I don't know. Just make your own decisions, make your own list, and go out into the universe seeking exactly that, all right? Release those intentions to the universe so that the universe can bring to you the best person for you. Also, in that list, put in big, bold lines, please may the universe open its way for the best person to come to me, the one that is the best person for me right now, okay? Sometimes some of those characteristics are not seen immediately, they are developed later. But nevertheless, don't let the outside world let you down, because with the card of the Chariot, usually there has been some work done on you lately. You've been working on your self-esteem, you've been working in your self-worth, you've been working with yourself, and the world can be very, very cruel sometimes, okay? So it may be the case that you are in a situation where you've been working with yourself very, very hard, and someone comes around. Sometimes some of those amazing friends that we all have that they seem to be paying a compliment, but then they are completely throwing you under the bus, okay? So be careful with that. Don't let people undermine your self-esteem. Don't let people undermine your efforts to improve yourself. Don't let people say what you deserve or what you don't deserve, all right? Don't let people decide that for you. And don't let people saying stuff about you that you may not like fester your mind, all right? Don't let those words fester your mind and rot whatever good work you've been doing with you and taking you. Don't let that take you into a bad place once again, okay? Because you have here a card that is very, very positive and that banks a lot on your power of decision. And the Nine of Swords is a card that tells me that there's going to be some outside interference that is going to feed your inner demons, and you actually have to make the decision to not let this happen to you, not let this affect you. Otherwise, you're going to see its effects in your life, okay? Then we have your money cards, and here you have the Hermit and the Four of Wands. So, as I was telling you before, you have a Four of Wands. That's the card of happiness and of safe haven in the middle of all the chaos, okay? The Hermit is a card that doesn't tell much about money. Usually it's a card that talks about you having barely enough. But I usually like to look at this card this way. If you see the Hermit lives in the middle of the forest. He may not have a penny, but he's never hungry. He may not have a roof, but he is never uncomfortable. Why? Because the nature provides what he needs, and he has the wisdom to do the best with it. The nature where he lives provides food, provides shelter, provides provides materials that are necessary to create shelter and to cook food. So he doesn't need to be worried about mundane assets such as money. He doesn't need that. He focuses his time in improving himself, in knowing more about himself, in discovering himself and using his wisdom to improve himself more and more and to know himself more and more. Just because he doesn't need to be running around for money, okay? So what this tells me is that even though you may not have a lot of money this month, this is not a very prosperous card, but you'll have more than enough for what you need. With the Four of Wands, it's a safe haven, okay? It's like one of those days when your bank account is at zero, your bank account is full of zeros, and you're gonna have to pay something tomorrow, and first thing in the morning someone pays you something that should have been paid a while ago, and then the bill comes in and you have enough money to pay for it. You may not have much left on your account, but your obligations, they're all taken care of, so you can feel at ease. Even though you don't have a lot of money, you can feel that your needs are taken care of. That's the point of this combination, and that's why I say that probably the moon with the Four of Coins can come from a place of lacking, a place of need, but you're not in such a bad situation as you would believe. All right, so be careful. Don't let yourself fall for this. Because you may be attracting a very, very dense energy to your money life when stuff is not as bad as it may seem, okay? It's not prosperous, it's not like you just won the lotto, but at least everything is taken care of, and you will have the wisdom to make your money work for you in the best way possible, all right? Then we have your health cards. And this is this worries me a little bit, because the Devil is a card that is associated with infections, that is associated with fevers, inflammations. Of course, the Devil, hot, heat. So it's also a card that is associated with problems in your genitals or STDs. Okay, so be careful with any kind of risky endeavors that you may be having in your sex life. Okay. And it's also a card that talks about toxicity, all right? Talks about difficulty for your body to regenerate, and your body being loaded with toxins. Maybe you've not been eating well lately. Maybe you haven't been drinking enough water. Maybe what you've been drinking and eating is mainly junk food. Your body is at its ropes. Nine of Wands, this is a card of going for your reservations of energy, your reservations of, in this case, to the reservations of energy that your body may have to heal itself, take care of itself. So your body is at its ropes, okay? You need to go for a medical checkup. You need to start detoxing, and soon, all right? Try to go for... If you can't afford anything else, go for a lot of water. It also helps your body detox. Try for detoxing juices. Don't just eat detoxing juices. That's not healthy. But do a couple of detoxing juices a week. Try to have a better nourishment for your body. All right. Try to eat better. And pay attention to any infections, to any inflammations that you may have. Because your body right now is under stress. Also, trying to reduce the stress load in your work life or in your everyday life would be very, very helpful, because your body is just doing its best to deal with everything that you throw at it. And right now your body needs a little bit of help, okay? So start by detoxing and by eating a little bit better. It's something that may not be that hard to do. Just by drinking more water sometimes is all that you may need to start your journey into a healthier body, okay? So Be careful with what you eat. If you are doing any of those crazy diets for the summer, be sure that you're accompanied by a professional, or that you know what you're doing, because sometimes when you do one of those crazy diets, what happens is your body doesn't get enough nourishment, and there is a lot of toxins that have been left in your body from junk food and from not so good nourishment from months prior, and your body's going to try to eat up all that fat, and those toxins, they stay in that fat that your body still has. So you're going to have a lot of toxins running around through your body, and your body is going to try to get some nourishment out of toxin loaded energy. So try not to go that way, okay? If you go for those diets, make sure that they are balanced, make sure that they're healthy and that they're adapted for you. Seek a professional if you need, but don't go into anything crazy, because you're going to put even more stress and more strain into your body, okay? So for your health, this is a little bit concerning. Nothing that can't be fixed, but be careful. Then we have your work card, and in your work you have the Strength and the Knight of Cups. So if you're looking for a job, you're gonna find it, no doubt about it. You even may have some new offers or propositions, maybe from the middle of the month on, okay? Here with the card of the Strength, it's a card that talks about using your intuition, about using your strategic mind to seek what you want, to act instead of react. So if you've been in a sticky spot regarding money, and you feel like you need to grab the first job that comes around, be careful with that, because that's not the case, okay? Use your mind. Instead of just reacting to a bad situation where you might have been, use your mind to get the best out of it, all right? To aim exactly for what you would like, to aim for jobs that would make you feel fulfilled, instead of just picking up the first thing that comes around for you, okay? If you are waiting to see if a contract will be renewed, I'd say that yes, it will be renewed, and probably you'll have some new offers, either an increase in your pay, or you may be asked to accumulate a couple more jobs with your own. Say you have to have a new project handed to you, or to take in a few more functions than you usually had, okay? If you are already working in a stable position, it may be the case that some offers are made to you, okay? Some other projects or invitations are presented to you, so that you can decide what you want to do and how to evolve your professional life. So this is a good month for work. So that's why I say these problems with the material, it's not as dire as you may feel it is. And I have here the emphasis on feeling, because that's the situation with the moon. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Swords in your spirituality cards. So I would say that there's something that needs to change in your spiritual practices. Something will change, definitely. Coming from your reasoning, coming from your mind, you're going to understand some things, or you're going to make you may learn something new, or you may study something else that is going to give you new information, and you're going to put that together with your intuition, and you're going to make some changes, not only to your thought process regarding your spiritual life, but also to your spiritual life itself, to the way you practice it, to the people you practice it with, to the techniques you use, okay? So here your mind is going to be the one breaking down what needs to be done, and taking you into new worlds and into new practices and perspectives regarding your spiritual life. So changes will be happening here, changes for the best. Sometimes it may seem a little bit difficult to see where things are going to go, but with the Wheel of Fortune, most likely you're going to get here some very, very good results in the changes that you're going to make to your spiritual life. It may even be an expansion where you incorporate more aspects of your beliefs in your everyday life. All right, so a very good card for your spirituality, a card that brings a lot of new energy, because the card of the Wheel is a very fast card, very energetic card that can be permeating everything in here. All right, so let's see what your Ascended Masters and the Isis Oracle have to tell you as advice for this month. And then we start with Avalokiteshvara, that is a deity, that an Eastern deity who watches over the world and hears all prayers. He is considered to be the male energy form of Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. All right, so he is the one that is most readily available to anyone who calls upon him for help with spiritual growth concerns. Have it here, and to help and to be compassionate with you. So he says as follows: you have strong emotions about the situation, whatever situation may be that you are having at the back of your mind right now is the one that we're talking about. And you may feel upset, misunderstood, or used. This card comes to you as a pathway to peace by asking you to consider others' points of view. You don't need to agree with these other individuals. You're simply asked to understand their motivations and to have compassion for their feelings. This process can positively shift the energy of power struggles, much like letting go of a rope during a tug of war. As you see the other person's point of view, you open the door for creative solutions to enter. Additional meanings for this card may be: see yourself through the eyes of any person you desire to know or meet, let go of defensiveness in your relationships, look past the surface personality and see the divine within others, forgive past hurts, and start anew. Okay, so here you have an advice that somehow also talks about detoxing your spirit from stuff that's no longer necessary. Forgive and start over. The Devil. The Devil in health, all right? Usually the card of the Devil would not mean that at all, but regarding your health, that's also one of the ways, because your health takes in your whole body and your spirit as well. And the Wheel, that also talks about new stuff, letting go and starting anew, letting go and starting anew. Then we have the Rising Sun, the Divine Solar Child Reborn. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you, one of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is won through boldness, persistence. Even when you felt like giving up, you chose to stay strong, to surrender to the divine and continue with the path. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved. For the divine solar child, a new consciousness within you is born. As we journey into the ancient feminine, there are many, many times when we meet her dark face. We must be patient, accepting, allowing. Often what we meet are the difficulties of birth, literal and symbolic. We might feel great emotional or physical pain, spiritually bereft, alone, and yearning for deeper union. Perhaps even wondering if what you seek could be a genuine experience or if it is the stuff of daydreams and fantasies. During times of despair and struggle, we come back to our hearts, searching for faith within, searching for signs to support us as we take the long journey down the spiritual birth canal into love in even greater expression. It may take us weeks, months, or many, many years to birth ourselves over and over again into more of our divine essence. Some birthing processes that are deeply profound will feel as though they take the most, if not all, of our lifetime on this planet. At another level, many lifetimes will constitute one birth process. However, no matter how much we encounter the inner workings of the womb of the divine feminine, there are always moments of entering the light of birth into a new world, as a new being, into a reality transformed. These moments are precious and herald the beginning of a new level of divinity expressed, often in a deeply creative new ways. The divine solar child being born brings new light into your life, likely to express itself in multiple forms. Revived in new relationships, new inspiration and opportunities in your work and spiritual life, more love and enjoyment, new or more energized community, greater well-being and experience in your body, creative abilities that you didn't even realize you had opening up effortlessly as you surrendered to allow the body and creative faculty to flow. These are some of the gifts that are given to you by the universe at the cosmic baby shower for the birth of the divine solar child. The sweetness of the gifts of this new life make all that came before it into so sacred and worthwhile. To honor and accept the past, and the courage is required of us. And the courage it required of us, and yet to accept that it is now time to turn our face to the light and partake of the fruits of our inner labor is what this oracle ordains. Symbolized by the headdress of cow horns with the golden disc within, worn by Egyptian goddesses, including Isis, and the symbolism of Isis nursing her divine son child Horus at her breast, the oracle of the rising sun brings with it a new day, dawn, breakthrough, end of struggle, and the genuine and stable birth of optimism and hope for you now. So, here you have the energy for this month. It's an energy of renewal. It's an energy of connection. It's a very feminine energy, especially with the moon and the empress here. It's an energy of birth and rebirth, of reconstruction. Again, development of projects, of relationships with the chariot, developing of work with the strength, changes in your spiritual life with the wheel. I hope that this spread made sense. I hope that it helped you, that it gave you a new point of view for this month. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, to leave us a like if you like this video, and also to share this video with other people that you may believe that would benefit from these words. I hope to see you again in our next video. See you soon. Bye.